Here's another excerpt from my upcoming book. If I weren't black, I'd join the Klan. I laugh every time I say that title because people have actually taken me serious. They don't listen to the excerpt. They just see that and then kill yourself. You're racist. You're this. You're a race hater. This and that and the other. If they listened to intro number 1, they would have a different take on it. Anyway, you knew that I was going to touch on interracial relationships. You had to know that would be in the book. I'm going to touch on the 3 P's of interracial relationships: preference, power, and poverty. And that's contained in the book. Here's a little excerpt. The 3 P's of interracial dating: preference, power, and poverty. In today's liberal society, interracial dating shouldn't merit discussion, but since it continues to turn heads, evoke anger, and create controversy, I will address it. First, let me dispel some myths that while I believe they probably had some validity years ago because of ignorance, I do not believe that they possess any validity today. Myth number 1. Black men date white women because they are freaks in the bedroom and will do anything sexually. Really? That myth was born out of the fact that pornography was once monopolized by white society. Brothers saw these white women on screen doing things that their woman would not do to them or with them at home. They visualized these white women as being sexually free of inhibitions and willing to do anything to please their man sexually. Sorry, brothers, but it's your job to bring that out of your black woman. Trust me, she's waiting. The second myth is that black women dated white men because they felt that white men would not put their hands on the black woman, as a lot of black men have supposedly been known to do. Domestic violence knows no race. There have been plenty of black women that bought into this thinking only to realize that abusive men come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. The third myth can be shared across gender. The thought that white women treat men better than black women coexisted with the mindset that white men treat women better than black men. This is an absurd mindset that totally disregards individuality. The character of a person is not race-based. How you are treated is based on a person's character, feelings for you, and realistically, how much you allow them to get away with. Lastly, fear and intimidation. Oftentimes, successful black women who are familiar with a black man who is dating white women exclusively believe that the black man is intimidated by their successes. While I agree that it is oftentimes successful black women are shunned by some black men that have not reached the level of success that they have, I don't believe that intimidation is the correct word. I believe that reluctant would be the better word. Successful black women, especially in the corporate arena, are some of the most driven, career-minded women on the planet. They have 2 strikes against them. They are black and they are female. Now, this is not to contradict what I've said about balanced opportunity in my previous chapters. While it may appear that the women in general are becoming major players in corporate leadership, black women still have to work twice as hard as their white counterparts to attain top management levels in corporate leadership. I believe that men, period, have come to the realization that if they require attention, if the black man requires attention and time in a relationship, that a black woman on the top rung of the corporate ladder may not be able to give them that type of attention and time. Rather than simply admit that he needs a woman that can give him time, that can give him the affection and relationship in a relationship, he would rather just simply leave the woman alone, period. Black men that are willing to understand that they may be required to take a back seat to a woman's career will do well in these type of relationships. As far as this being the root cause for a black man dating a white woman, I don't believe this to be true. The thought that a black person dates outside their race due to fear can only be attributed to experience and perception. If someone has continuously experienced hurt after hurt in a relationship with their race, engaging in an interracial relationship may seem justifiable, to them that is. A more viable way of thinking would be to examine the type of people that you're attracting. If all black men you've dated turned out to be physically abusive, it doesn't matter what race you date. You simply could be attracting abusive men. It doesn't justify the fear of black men. It justifies a woman taking self-inventory to see why abusive men are attracted to her. Fear is also based on perception. The media, film, and music industry hasn't always painted black people in the most desirable light. The way black people have been portrayed in film and music, not only by society, but by us, would be enough to evoke fear in the average person. While serving in the Navy, I met people overseas that only knew black people from our music and the news. They thought that black men were foul-mouthed, crotch-grabbing men that hated our women. They thought that our women were ultra-argumentative, head-shaking, contentious women who had no respect for men. Imagine if those perceptions are the deciding factors when choosing a mate within our race.